Welcome back to Women in Sport Africa, and today we go to part 2 of the story of Hadebe. She has given us the details of her early childhood where she was sexually abused and how she turned that pain into purpose and the work that she does today as a boxer. Her work goes beyond the ring, and this is the story of Simangele Hadebe. We continue with our guest, Hadebe, going into the current story and what is currently happening. But before we get there, I want to rewind a little bit, going back to 2021, where you win your first South African title. Leading up to that day, what are the emotions like when you're going and approaching that fight?
To be honest, it was an excitement to actually have be a champion, be a South African champion, and embracing it, your first title. You know, it's always something that you like, you've always wanted, you know, and now that you've achieved it, what's next? Mm-hmm. You know, I was so excited, but because I was another thing, I fought a girl, that was the third time I was fighting Temazuma. But this time we were fighting her for the SA title, of which I came out victorious. And then again, I looked forward for my next title, which was the next year, 2022, mm-hmm. the ABU Africa Flyweight title also. And
if I'm not mistaken, that's when South Africans really woke up to the name Hadebe, when you won that ABU title, because now it's a different ball game. It's not just a local tournament, but it's now an African title. Yeah. When you hear and see your names in news, your name in news and people speaking about you, that sense of victory that I'm doing it, or I did it even.
You know, you get used to just doing the same thing all over again. And you're not even realizing that you're doing so good that everyone else is impressed and everyone else is proud. You know, only when you sit down and you look back, yo, I've achieved so much and I didn't even realize it, you know. Well done to myself, you know, for pushing through and always being there when I have to be, you know. And I was so proud that winning the ABU, you know, you get spotted now in Africa, because the South African title was just for South Africa. Yeah. Yes, and now in Africa, you're like, okay, now we're going somewhere. We're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And all you have to do is just to work more and more and more. Mm-hmm.
So now your world is getting bigger from just fighting your fellow South Africans, and now it's a continental. How do you compare boxing in the country versus on the continent?
I think we're still getting there. As women in the sport, I think we do need support. We do need people cheering for us, especially when it comes to sponsorship. You know, I can say we struggle more with sponsorship. I'm not sure about other sporting codes, but in boxing, we struggle more. As a female, it's difficult to get, you know, and it's difficult to actually work and box at the same time, because boxing requires most of your time, you know, and you can't focus with work and boxing. But I'm grateful and fortunate to have, you know, RGM Cranes and Discover Sport backing me up. You know, it's only a few people that can say, you know, I'm grateful for this sponsor or that sponsor in boxing, which there's a lot of boxers in South Africa that actually there's a lot of champions that actually needs support, structure, financially, you know, because you can't just become a millionaire in boxing once you start. You know, it takes years to build, you know, a lot of dedication, a lot of hard work. Yeah, a lot of sacrifices also. You're away from your family. You're sacrificing a lot, actually.
And then there's Colleen McAusland, a lady that's quite influential when it comes to your career. When did you meet her? And just talk to me briefly about how the impacts that she's had in your career.
I met Colleen McAusland in 2018, and I'm still with her even this day. And I didn't think we were going to be actually so close. I thought it was just going to be, you know, boxing and then that's it. Boxing gym, boxing, and all of that. But it was a relationship that was actually close, of which she's the reason why I started opening up to my own trauma, my own story, telling my own story, making boxing a platform to talk about it, actually. And I think I'm not realizing it, but I'm actually changing lives through that, because I have one child that actually went through what I've been through, and she started boxing, and she's doing very well. She's going for her 3rd fight in amateur. Now on Friday, we'll be there to support also this time around. It's quite an achievement, besides these titles that I'm fighting for, besides going places. It's just something that warms my heart to say, you know what, I'm doing a difference. I might not be collecting enough titles as I want to, but I'm changing lives. I'm making other children's life better.
Yeah. And we'll speak about the opportunities to fight more fights and get the opportunities to fight for more titles. Yeah. I want to zoom into still on the South African aspects, because you see a lot of fights, and boxing is truly coming back. Because boxing is a true South African sport when you look at our history. And I mean, you said that you used to watch it on SABC2, and that's what we all know. Yep. SABC2, if you want boxing, that's where you're going to see it. But what better things can be done to ensure that there are more opportunities for women in boxing?
I think we need to draw more females into sport, because a lot of females, they've got so much talent, but they fall off. I don't know, in terms of maybe support, they're not getting the support, or there's just too much happening. They have to deal with so much. Some build families, some get married, everything is just different ways, fall into different ways. So I think if we get more support and draw more children, more women, it starts in an early age. Maybe bring boxing to schools, take boxing to schools, take the tournaments to the location, actually, for them, because it's much cheaper for them to watch. Make it a free entry for promoters, make it a free entry for the kids, to come and watch. That's how you actually build the sport, make it more entertaining, for the kids and for anyone that actually wants to do sport.
Yeah. And we are sitting with Simangele Smash Hadebe, current WBO All-Africa champion. And after the break, we'll get to learn about the work that she does outside of the ring. She's already given us a hint of what she does, but we'll learn more. And it's important when it comes to South Africa and what we deal with as young women and children. Coming up after the break. Welcome back to Women in Sport Africa. Our guest, Smash Hadebe, is not just an African boxer, but she's also an advocate for women and children. So Smash, I know outside of the boxing ring, you do work with young girls specifically. Tell me more about that work and what it entails.
I'm close to, it's not about me, NGO, it's not about me. They deal with children, rescue women and children. And there's a home I normally go to that's very close to my heart, where I spend time with those kids and listening to their stories. I wish I spoke very early, when I look at them, but I'm glad that they are speaking out, They are speaking out and they are getting the help they need, actually. And it's just, we just go there, have lunch with them, do some boxing sessions, lessons. It's just so beautiful. It's just so beautiful for them to just actually smile, be kids, be free.
And what message do you want survivors to hear when they see you and they see your story?
There can never be a time where you stop fighting in this world. As long as you are still getting up in the morning, you will always be fighting. Doesn't have to be that abuse that you went through or whatever situation at home, you will always be fighting. So they must gather all their strength because they're gonna need it.
Did you find that as the platforms you have grown from national title to an African title, did you find that there was greater responsibility to take this message to more spaces so that more people can hear your story?
Actually, yes, because I don't just fight in the ring, I also fight outside the ring. You know, you might be fighting at home, but you're also going to be fighting outside. Doesn't matter what sport you do or where you are, workplace, you're always fighting. So you need strength, and you can only get it from God also. You know, keep God close and all your ways will be paved.
And part of the reason why we do what we do here on this show is to inspire young girls specifically to know that in a country that has plenty of challenges, from unemployment to the issue of femicide to the issue of sexual assaults when it comes to young women and children, part of the key message is that there's so much access that you can get when you enter into sports. There's so much life that you can live when you enter into sports specifically.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I like the saying that goes, Mike Tyson's quote, it says, discipline is doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it. That goes to a sports person, any sports person.
Yeah.
I can't say I love every training of boxing. I don't like it. Some of it I don't like it. I don't like sparring. But doing it like you love it. That's discipline itself. You need to be disciplined. It doesn't have to be sport. It doesn't have to be training. It doesn't have to be. Do it like you love it. Just do it and do it perfect. That's all.
There's also that complication that social media brings because it's times where kids are happy to just sit at home, be on social media the whole day and just scroll up and down relentlessly without any proper direction. And you touched on it, the importance of school sports, because school sports is where kids can actually go to spend the afternoon, get home tired, homework, sleep. There's not opportunities to do bad things.
There is no. Sport can actually draw you closer to living a clean life, a healthy life, you know, build a future even and have a career. You know, it can take you away from all the drugs, the partying, everything else, you know, and it's more like a rescue. It's more like a therapy. You don't have to go to a rehab. This is actually the rehab that you actually need, you know, and it's the most healthiest, to be honest. Because you learn to eat healthy, you learn to be disciplined, go to gym, come back, you're tired, you don't have time to be mingling around with friends or going out drinking the whole night. You're just too tired. You just go to gym, go to school, training and home, eat and sleep, and that's all.
How far would you like to take your work, the work that you do outside of the ring? I know right now it's more around the area that you live in, but how far would you like it to go?
Yeah. I would like it to take as far as I can get. I mean, to a point where maybe I can have a rescue house also, a home to rescue those children, you know, like all the abused women and children, girls and boys, you know. Yeah, I like to take it that far because I really didn't get that. So some people need them more than I do, as I don't need it now.
And what I like about athletes these days, I mean, we had a conversation with Usunalo Jafta, and she was also saying that she had a bit of a struggle with alcoholism, and she said with the foundation that she wants to go, she would like to take it beyond sports. And that's the opportunity that you have as well, that yes, I'd love to see more young Black girl boxers, you know, taking over the world. But at the same time, there's a bigger conversation to be had when it comes to mental health, when it comes to the sexual assaults and the likes. There's so much more that you can do as a sports person.
There is so much more that you can do, like give back to the community, you know. It's actually the community that grows you. It's actually the community that builds you, that motivates you, that are with you, you know, because a lot of children don't get that. So if you are thinking about it, why not do it?
And that is the story of Smash Hadebe. When we come back, as we wrap up the show, we talk about and build up to her match on the 28th of February that we all will be watching, right? We are starting our cheerleading. Our cheerleading starts today because we need to support Smash Hadebe. That title there is at risk. So a few weeks later, we needed to come back and sit here for Smash. Coming up after the break, we wrap it up with Smash Hadebe. As we reach the tail end of this edition of Women in Sport Africa, we wrap it up with our guest, Smash Hadebe. So the 28th of February is around the corner where you are fighting a title defense. Tell me more about the fights in Pretoria.
The fight in Pretoria is actually Fighters Club Promotion that's promoting it, and Battle for Love, and it's also based on fighting gender-based violence. Yes, so it's also a fight that's very close to my heart because it's what it means for me, and I'll be defending my title there against a very good up-and-coming boxer from the Western Cape. Yeah.
What's her name?
Sibulele Subois. Yeah, that's her name.
She calls herself Love, I think. Lova. Oh, no, not
yes.
Love, Lova.
Yes, Lova.
Okay, so it's a South African fight.
Yeah.
Are you finding that there are more fighting opportunities when you compare to your earlier days in the country?
My earlier days, yes. I think there's more opportunities. There's more flyweights, female flyweights. Because back then I used to fight like same girl 3 times, 4 times, 2 times, you know. But now the opponents are changing, which makes it more exciting. You get to fight different styles, you know, different. Like now I'm fighting a southpaw. I normally used to fight orthodox, and you already know that person sometimes, you know. But this one, it's my first time fighting. Not a southpaw. The last time when I fought a southpaw also. Yes. But it's fewer southpaw that I fought before. So I'm getting the experience also that I also need. Yeah.
Recently, we had a new board. There was a few times when it changed. It looked like it was disbanded, and then finally we have a new board. In the maybe few months that they've been in charge, are you seeing any difference that they're making?
Yes, I am. They are, compared to the previous, I can see a difference, and now I've been rewarded my SA title, of which back then they used to say if you win a SA title, you have to defend it like 5 times before you can own the title. Sure. So at least now every champion has their own belt. You can actually keep it for yourself. Yeah, we're seeing tournaments, females are being promoted. Back then it used to be they used to focus on August month, Women's Month. So we're seeing a change. We're seeing a change. We're not there yet, but we wish to get there. And also in support, we need sponsors on board supporting the champions, you know, putting the champions out there to showcase their talent also and defend the titles like I am.
And then when you do see, because I mean, this one has been building up for some time now, and I love the emphasis around it to say it's more than just about the fights in the ring, but also in the country fighting gender-based violence. So that message is attached to it. The response of people when the fight is predominantly about the main bout is two females and such a massive title of defense. Do you feel like the community responds enough in terms of support, not just corporate?
We would like for them to respond, the community coming to support the fight, you know, on the 28th, support the women. Us being I think there's more females than males, which we are grateful for. That's actually what we want. And then maybe keep the balance there. You know, we want to be paid the same as men. You know, we're still fighting that battle, but we're not there yet. And just the support itself, we want that. Promoters, the community supporters buy tickets. I know some of the supporters, they want free tickets, but it's not always. It won't be always like that. You know, back then they used to do that, but now, you know, take out that $100, you know, buy a ticket yourself and come support to show that you really want to support us as women. You know, another woman supporting another woman. It will actually be great.
It's very important indeed. So looking at the future, I know this fight is coming along, but there's still so much more that I imagine you still want to do. Is there maybe an opponent or a fight that you would love to get into at some point before you decide to hang the gloves?
Yeah, I would love to fight Fundora. Number one, she's number one. She's got the Ring magazine. I would love to fight, but she's also a southpaw, which makes it more interesting. Very tall. She's very tall.
Okay.
Yeah, and it will be a fight I want to fight. Probably, if not next year, late this year. I don't have much years to go because I want to hang up my gloves in good conditions, you know, still healthy, everything, you know. Once I get my business up and running, I'll probably think about it. I don't know, but we'll see. But I would love to fight Fundora.
So this is, it's not, you know, when you say one day, it's something that's maybe is not reachable, but this sounds like something that can happen. It's very much possible.
Yeah, no, it is very much possible. You need to believe it, confess it yourself, you know. When you speak, you have to speak live.
Into your dreams.
Yeah, into your dreams, into your future, you know. Yeah, I'm speaking live. I want to fight her. It will probably be in the UK or USA. Yeah.
How proud is your family of your achievements?
Yeah, they are very proud. I can say my brothers, my siblings are my biggest fans. You know, even though when I started boxing, they were like, when these hands so soft and all of that, but I proved them wrong actually, and they started, you know, to actually put back the words that they said before when I started.
And your message to young kids that have gone through what you have went through, maybe they are watching and they are in that time at the moment. What is your message to them?
You know, I want them to speak out. I want them to start talking. Whatever you're going through, that abuse, don't give your perpetrator the power. You know, speak out. You have a life ahead. You have a dream to achieve. And get into sport, guys. Get into sport. You might find your talent there. You might discover a lot about yourself that you didn't know. Yeah, I just want them to just keep on pushing and keep on going.
Keep on pushing and keep on going. That is the story of Simangele Smash Hadebe. Thank you so much for coming to us this afternoon on Women in Sport Africa. And this is what we do every Sunday here on SABC2 at 12:30. We profile and shine the light on women in sport that are doing amazing things, and not just on the playing field, but outside of it as well. And Simangele epitomizes that. 28th February in Pretoria, that's where the fight is happening. And I want you to follow all her social media platforms so that you can get more details of this fight and truly support her cause, because it's not just about the fights in the ring, but it's about the fights that we're fighting outside of it as well. Let's chat again next week, Sunday, 12:30 on SABC2. It's Women in Sport Africa.